Happy Friday night, my friends. Cass here, just hopping on a quick live. I'm going to allow people to hop on, but I just put up an incredible soul reading and intuitive psychic reading for a young 32-year-old male. And what else could light your heart up than a young man calling for intuitive guidance, right? Usually it's the females in the house that are calling in for their next direction and their sole purpose. I just want to thank him. Hopefully you will see this live a little bit later, but I want to talk through some of the elements that are coming up from Spirit right now. If anybody hops on and you want to do a short free reading, I'm happy to do that, but I just wanted to pop on, give some information that Spirit wants to bring through. And if anybody hops on, wants a reading, you're free to do, just leave it in the comments. So I'm going to open up with saying that you are being called into a new evolutionary world right now. And this has been and is being created by benevolent spirits. There's a lot of fear coming up in the consciousness right now of the globe, and what I call through the global psychic nervous system. And the global psychic nervous system, I love this term. It is by a mentor of mine that uses it. Caroline Meese also uses it, and it opens up the conversation around intuitive guidance and archetypes. And the thing about what's going on right now with the fear is what came up through my reading. And not going into depth with the details of the reading, but there's a lot of spiraling going on, not only by my clients, but also I sense it in myself. And for me, there's layers of the spiraling that goes on. It's nowhere near what it used to be a year ago or even 3 months ago. And so what I can say about this global psychic nervous system is that as we understand the evolutionary world transitions, as the solar flares and all the lights come in, there is none other else than for the benevolent spirits to pull you into that higher place. So I want to talk a little bit about how intuitive guidance happens and how archetypes get in the way. And most conventional self-help, spiritual guidance, all of that, will want to move through a dark night of the soul and get rid of it. We just don't want to look at it. It's so ugly. And I'm going to tell you right now, this last week, I've gone through a dark night of the soul. That of being, I'm in my organic salon and spa and have no children. I'm midlife. I am neurodiverse, and I call it ADHD, which is attention dialed into a higher dimension. And what that means is I am always living in my inspiration. I live through my creativity. I do what I want to do. And I love serving others. My dark night of the soul, as of right now, as we're, like I said, for being called into this new evolutionary world that is being made by the benevolent spirits, they're calling me into this space of having to look at, because as a leader, you're being called to shift through the dark night and understand it's part of the global nervous system. The global nervous system, psychic nervous system, is also a fractal that is in you. So when we understand the responsibility of not judging, not trying to figure it out, not trying to go back and find every ghost in the closet, try to do every single, what do they call it? Inner child work, all of that. It actually can get in the way. And most of our esteem systems, our psychic esteem systems, are being supported right now by benevolent spirits, by the lights coming in. And so my message to you is to trust that. And that just like my little dark night of the soul right now, I am transitioning through it faster than I ever have. Inflammation in my body, in my system, in my digestive system has drastically gone down just by the state of stress that we're all carrying right now, just by moving through it and asking my guides to support me. That's how fast this is going to move right now. So that safety, security that you're needing. Trust that your benevolent spirits are there to meet you, to guide you through it. Number two, the dark night of the soul of mine, so maybe you can touch into it, is the service provider. It is the shadow light worker. And many healers, and I want you to get this, many spiritual entrepreneurs, many healers, there's an unconscious thing here. I've known that it's there. This is not new to me, but it has given me what I've needed, but it's a false need. And that false need is a sense of worthiness. It's a sense of being needed, and it's a sense of being loved. And I'm telling you right now, the most beloved thing that will ever happen in your life is for you to be your own best friend and for self-love. And I will also say that's also not done alone, because I can feel my connection to my guides that have been with me since birth. I can feel the connection to my galactic team, the huge galactic team. I call it the war room, because when I connect to spirit, I pretty much live there, especially right now. I go to the war room. But your own best friend, self-love, self-esteem is not done alone. It actually is connected to higher source. So that starts off with the understanding of vertical intuition, which now I will go into. The global psychic nervous system also has an interconnection to the Earth's grid. And the Earth's grid has access points of vertical alignment and horizontal alignment. If you're a spiritual entrepreneur, a healer, a guide, whatever it is, because we're all here as benevolent spirits to support ourselves, to support others, and Ancient Mother at this time of transition, is with all of this scattered news and the stress of the global psychic nervous system. Let's talk about what it is. The global psychic nervous system came online back in the 80s, progressed in the 90s, and came fully on board in the 2000s. We're now seeing it with AI. I actually create healing experiences through AI. I love AI. There's a difference. We are the technology. That's how I view it. There's a whole other side to that for another life. The global psychic nervous system also contains all of the interconnectivity of all the stressors, the beliefs, and this old dark aspect that's Ancient Mother is doing the work, my friends. We have to do our own work of regurgitating, getting rid of, ridding, treason, those that abuse young children, all of those things. I'm not going to name it on this live because this is going to get dinged if I do, but you know what I'm talking about. So what happens is this dark night of the soul matched with the global nervous system creates a stressor in the body that we get stuck, right? So we're not sure if it's ours. We're really stressed. We're listening to everybody on Twitter. We're listening to everybody on Telegram. We're looking at Instagram. We're trying to figure out what's going on. It's none of your business. It is none of your business. To be informed is one thing, but to understand, the more tapped in you're in by having one thing on over here, and I'm speaking from experience, my friends, the more your psychic intuitive guidance is going to get hijacked. Anybody on the live, I want to let you know I'm doing, if anybody wants a free reading, just type in the chat and be happy to send any information from your guides. But the time warp that happens with the psychic nervous system and the personal psychic intuitive system is that we have a timeline from the past, the present, and the future timeline. The Earth grid runs on all of these access points. So the question is, where are we pulling information from? The horizontal intuitive guidance system is okay, but I want you to put your hands out. Picture yourself moving into a room and you're feeling everybody's energy. And then you bring in this term of, the energy vampires, all of that. That's exhausting. And when you're dialed into everything and you're bringing in stuff just because you think you want to be informed, you're actually depleting your chi your energy, and your connection to source. Right now in my life, as I go through this people pleasing, this perfectionist of having to serve and to love and to be needed, I'm like, hey, I'm going to be moving into abundance. What am I going to do when I don't have to be under the old system of slavery, right? Harriet Tubman, what did she say? Remember what she said? All these people said, hey, Harriet, you saved thousands of lives. How do you feel about that? You know what she said? She said, and she turned and she snarked, and she said, yeah, I saved thousands of lives, but I could have saved thousands more that never even knew that they were slaves. And that's where we're at. And that's why I'm talking about the global psychic nervous system, the earth grid, and where we want to be operating from. Again, having this felt sense of a brick wall has your internal voice just screaming, right? I understand the feeling. And it's on many levels, right? Of frustration. But you don't need to know what got you here and what you need to do to get you there. It's just that one next step, just connecting from the global psychic nervous system, right? And asking your guides to step in and just show you that one tiny new step. Whatever feels deadened in your soul is being called to ground into the universe to allow the new seeds that your guides and benevolent spirits have already planted. And it is your will to step up into that position of taking this head on and moving now into what I'll end with, which is the vertical intuition. So we learn about horizontal, which is this exhausting. I sense, I can feel, I have a feeling that, oh, I knew that was going to happen. That's great. That's coming online. Now we're moving 12 DNA strands up, right? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, subconscious, unconscious, conscious mind. 4, 5, 6, we move into the etheric body, into the astral plane, for we're then connecting to the priestess, right? And we move all the way up into the vertical alignment, the chakra system. This is why I love chakra work and I love Qigong, because we're constantly breaking down all these layers, slapping the body, just doing this at the end of the night, slapping the body, jumping up and down, and irradiating the energy, and just connecting to source. That's all you need to do. That's bringing the vertical online. So I'm going to leave you with this, is that when we start working with the access points of the grids, this is where collective conscious is coming together. The grid workers, the esoteric are coming in. Those that are part of the new economic system that are coming into money are coming in. Those that are in, I have a client who's a pro sports, both him and his brother. And we have a mentorship. I mentor him when he's in my chair. He came in and he told me about a person I've been watching on YouTube. He just went on a shamanic journey and just connected me with him. Everything is working together for the good for those that are following their vertical alignment. But him, he's going to be transforming the sports industry. Every one of us are planted exactly where we need to be right now. I want to encourage you in that. Your self-esteem is your soul esteem. And the more you can shut off the horizontal guidance, because it feels like we're being spiritual, or we're connecting with these things where, but we want to go really direct. And you're going to start feeling a difference when you turn everything off. The dark night of the soul is met in vertical intuition and also having mentors and guides to meet you there. So the last piece is past, present, and future. We're all timelines at once. We're living on all timelines at once. So as you tap into the intuitive guidance, we can live our full life, right, of this horizontal attuneness, but never really touch that purity. And when you touch that purity, which is coming in faster and is being guided, our benevolence are stepping in on behalf of us, because the light is so much easier to tap into. When you get triggered in an archetype, Again, my example is people pleaser and having to serve to be the shadow savior, right? So the shadow is the undermine of, I remember being in my mom's womb and saying, oh my goodness, the stress and this safety and the security this beautiful soul needs is my responsibility to provide for. That's a soul coming into a womb that only knows that from the beginning of this incarnation. So what did I do? My soul contract, come a salon and spa owner that creates beautiful organic products and immersive experiences for healing for women. All beautiful, all part of my soul contract, but also has the polarities of an archetype. So the archetype is the shadow savior for self-worth. See how it feeds itself? And then the other archetype is the beauty of that. And those can be held in the same polarity. It's just knowing, where am I feeding it from? I had a mind fuck today. I was like, how do I even get through this? How do I not be that? Because I am so in love with my spirit guides. Tell me if you relate. And I am so in love with humanity and lifting the curse on mankind and helping people come into their fucking power relentlessly. So how do you hold both polarities? That's the art. That is the art that you get to play with your guides. You get to play with your vertical intuition, connecting to your 12th strand of DNA and bringing in the light. And it is the light that informs the darkness. So if you can trust on the light, that you love to light, my first love is the light. That light is going to show you the way. And it's not one of judgment. It's not one of fear. It's not one of shooting. It's none of that. And if that's there, that's not the light. If your guides, I say this to everybody, if your guides could see the way that they see you, and you could see them the way that they see you, you would just be so much more kind to yourself, which leaves me with resonance. So I'm going to leave today with resonance with the collective that they are reading. I'm going to start with an angel number to close this out. Thank you, everybody, for joining. And so let's go ahead and pull a card. Came out, popped out. Don't have a choice other than to choose this one. Got triple twos, actually fours. Oh, I love this. Feminine forces, relationship balance, prosperity, efficiency, patience, and humility. You can do everything by yourself. But life is to be shared. Partner up with the right spirit and you'll become a force. Honor commitments and people around. Don't judge, listen. Beautiful. I love that. And we're going to pull in an angel reading, moving into an intuitive guidance message from the universe. So thank you for everybody for joining. If anybody last call for any quick psychic readings, if you want to do a one-on-one, I am offering for a very limited time. Probably next week I'm going to shift and price is going to go up a little bit just based on time command. But there are 30-minute readings just like I did for my friend tonight. A male coming into the insecurity of investing in a lot of good investments. And what does a young man do with this money? It brings fear. And we walked really through that. His guides have got him and always have. And he just needed the assurance that he has what he needs to make the right decisions. So thanks for joining the message tonight. From now, the message from the universe is in your journey, there will be times when you feel lost, confused, lonely, and even angry. These are times of transition. You won't feel those emotions forever. You are transitioning to a better, stronger version of yourself. Shed away those unneeded layers and keep growing. Exactly what I spoke about tonight between the difference ending out tonight between the horizontal, the grids of the psychic nervous system, untapped from the world right now. It's a show. It is a movie. It is going the way that humanity needs it. And it needs you. But all it needs from you right now is to connect to the light, to move towards the 12 strands of Productize DNA that is already within you, that was taken from us. And that is my goal, to lift the curse on mankind. And that starts with us all mentoring each other, being a tuning fork to each other, to connect with our guides, with our light, and the vertical intuition. And when we feel triggered, is to decide not to go to the past, not to go to the future, but to ask for the light to divinely come in. So that is tonight's Hey Sage and Spirit. Hello, sweetheart. That is tonight's reading insights. And here's a blast. By the way, too good. 2 grams of CBD, 2 grams THC. I love this stuff at night. I'm telling you, if y'all have a hard time sleeping, this shit, you take one of these, put it in a glass cup with ice and magnesium powder that is flavored, and taurine powder. And like my Aura ring went from a 45 of sleep up to a 65 just by doing that. Just love it. So Sage and Spirit, hello, sweetheart. Hey, Asam. Hacker. We talked about vertical and horizontal global psychic nervous system tonight. And to really tap into our benevolent spirits are guiding us, but they also have a high expectation of us. To really tap into the vertical light, again, moving into the 12 strands of DNA. And let me tell you, like, one of my mentors gets hard on me because I say things like I'm not an overly spiritual person, but I indeed am. I can't leave the spirit realm. But the 12 strands of DNA is righteous and it's real. And what was taken from us is rebuilt through your beliefs, your actions, and your connection to source. And so that vertical intuition is a lot less exhausting to trust and to just ask in the moment for that one next step, and to rid the archetypes and understanding that just like my people-pleasing archetype, my shadow savior archetype also has someone on the other side of the archetype that really loves people, but we just can't use it as a crutch for self-love. And that journey is moving very fast for everybody right now. So reach out for support when you need it. Sage and Spirit, listen. You do not need to apologize. You can come and watch later. That is just fine, my love. If you want a quick reading, I'd be happy to do so for you and tap in tonight. But I'm telling you, women, whole humans, but women spend their entire life apologizing and saying, I'm sorry. So I will bounce that back to you and say, thank you, but you do not need to apologize. I appreciate you hopping on. So if anybody wants a quick reading, just let me know. You can listen to the replay, and I am sending you all my love. Last call for any readings. Closing up the shot. I got this Path of Life card deck, and it's really interesting. It's like one word. So why the hell not just do one more card? All right. So Spirit, we're going to close out with one word. Closing up tonight, that benevolent spirits are with us. Our intuitive clarity is opening up. The light grids are all coming in. What's up, Ram? Ram, I was just talking about how you're going to be a light and a guide for the sport industry. I was talking about vertical intuition. I was talking about horizontal intuition tonight. Where we're pulling in from. Ram, I was just talking about, got off a session tonight with a 32-year-old male. And it really reminded me of you because he's coming into great abundance based on choices he's making. And there's fear there. We're moving into a place where we know Spirit is calling us into something really freaking big. We go back to the past, right? So the horizontal intuition is real, but we get caught in the vernacular of the grid, the earth grid of horizontal intuition. So we're getting stuck and going past, future, etc. We're also sucking up everybody's energy around us. The trick is going and run this moving into that 12 DNA. DNA, increased dose energy, which draws up the chakra body. And when you ask for light to just simply come in and to shine light on the archetype that's being triggered, mine was people pleaser. Shine a light on my archetype and show me the light of my good intentions, but also now show me the light of where my own sovereignty, my own self-love, my own soul can love my own soul. Because all my other timelines of all my ancestors and my ancestral self, because I've lived in other lifetimes, are here to guide me. I can trust that. Shit, I trust that more than I trust anybody out fucking in society. So this young man, 32, came in and said, I'm scared. I don't want to be selfish. I'm not sure how to plan for my future. And he came from a huge economic mastermind I'm in for people that really are in the know. And Ram, he just reminded me of you. But to have 32-year-old young men call psychic intuitives to be like, dude, I don't want to mess this up. I want to do the right thing. But my past is not helping me trust my future. And that's the point of vertical intuition. It's allowing other people to shine the light into the light body so that it can be more familiar with it. It's not hard. We overcomplicate it. What's up, Amy? Hello, sweetheart. So with that being said, if anybody wants a quick reading, just write in the chat. I'm going to be closing it out. All right, the one word, I just said that I got this new deck, the Path of Light. I love doing decks at the end of the night. Oh, 38, numbers 38. And I love this. This actually connects to my client tonight, which is the downward path. I'm going to share a quick journey of the downward path. And what came out of his reading tonight is that he's living in a place where he's living in the basement. And that was a negative connotation. And what his guide showed him is that he's actually in his subconscious. And he's in the safety, and his guides brought him to the symbolism of his mom's womb and how the quietness, the solidarity of just the basic in the womb, feeling protected and safe, is the same as the basement of a holding pattern for us to connect with divine source, to strengthen in the soul, so that we can be ready to move into that next phase. But that basement and the subconscious is the most powerful place that you can shift, is when you connect the subconscious to the superconscious. And the subconscious is linked to the superconscious. The 12-strand DNA starts informing the light of the unconscious. That's why I love doing psychic readings at night, because I tell my clients, please do not overthink this. Go journal it out, do automatic journaling, and then go to bed and drink a lot of damn water. Drink a lot of damn too good water that has some CBD in it to calm your nervous system, and let your subconscious mind work it out with your superconscious mind, because they got your back. All right, my friends, all my love, all my light. Thanks for everybody that joins, and probably go live on Sunday night. See you. Make sure you watch the replay. And if you want to grab a psychic reading, no, 30 minutes. They're super potent. I don't fuck around. We dig right in to what your guides are wanting to bring you. So they're $40 for 30 minutes right now. It's going to be going up probably next week just based on time availability. Love you all.